my name is Karyn, and I am here with you in the kitchen of the Introverts for Dems headquarters, which is also the home of the introvert in charge, your lead introvert, my older sister, Kristen. So she loves to eat, but she does not love to cook, and I love to cook, and I love to eat, so I'm here today to cook for you and for her. We're going to be making Tim's Turkey Taco Tot Hot Dish, and I have to look at that because that's a tongue twister. It looks really delicious. I love a good hot dish. There's turkey, there's cheese, there's Mexican flavorings, sort of Minnesota Midwest style, so don't really call it Mexican. And because my sister is a vegetarian for many, many years, we're going to make it the way the recipe calls for from Governor Walz, and also with a variation to make it vegetarian. We're going to be using lentils cooked with taco seasonings instead of the ground turkey. Anyway, let's get started. All right, we've assembled everything we need to make our hot dish. We've got a pound of ground turkey, and for the vegetarian version, I've just taken some lentils, cooked them in, you could use water or broth, and then just cook them in a frying pan with a package of regular taco seasoning mix, just like you would do for ground beef or ground turkey. Flavors them great, they're an awesome substitution. We've got a red bell pepper, a medium yellow onion, we've got sour cream, black olives, a bottle of taco sauce, whatever size seems right to you. This is what seemed right to me. Doesn't really specify. An entire bag of frozen sweet corn, some diced green chilies chopped up. We've got 4 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, and the recipe calls for making a spice mix out of paprika, chili powder, onion powder, and garlic powder, which in my mind is basically taco seasoning. So I made life easy and I just have some already premixed taco seasoning. Do it whichever way you want. And then of course the wonderful topping is going to be a bag of tater tots. At the end, there will be some garnishes, which are green onion, chopped tomato, and some shredded lettuce. You could also throw in some avocado if you wanted to be fancy. But I think that's everything. So let's just get cooking.
So I hear that Tim Walz has won multiple contests for his recipes.
Yeah, from what I understand, Al Franken was running a hot dish competition with some politicians to kind of, for goodwill and just fun. And he's won 3 separate years, I guess. And I don't know which year this won, but this hot dish was a winner. And there was another one that's even harder to say. It's the Turkey Trot Tater Tot Hot Dish. It's kind of got a Thanksgiving vibe to it. And then one just called the New Ulm, which I think is a town, and that's got like bratwurst and whatnot. But that one didn't seem like it would go vegetarian very easily. So I want to do this one today. All right, so we've got our bell pepper and our onion chopped up. We're going to go over this stove. We're going to saute this for about 15 minutes in a little bit of olive oil. So we've cooked our onions and bell peppers, and we're ready to get on to the ground beef. It's fine to use the same pan. We're going to get a little more olive oil in there, and we're going to be adding half of our spice mix seasoning to this as well. And then we're going to cook it till it's done, but you don't want to overcook it and make it dry. If anything's just barely cooked is fine, because it's going to be in the oven for an additional 45 minutes.
So Karyn, what is it about Kamala and Tim that makes you really excited to vote for them this year?
Well, they're competent. They're competent, they're qualified for the job, they're kind, they have empathy, they have experience. They come from the average American community, and it's important to them to take care of the average American and help us move forward into, continuing a stable, productive democracy. And a certain 4 years in the recent past were some of the most stressful 4 years of my life, and I don't want to repeat that again. Plus, they can cook, so. we're ready to do our final assembly. We've got our filling mixed up, some shredded cheese, more of our spice mix, and our tater tots. I'm just going to grab our casserole dishes.
Hey Karen, while you're doing that, I have a question.
Yeah.
What is the difference between a casserole and a hot dish?
Good question. A casserole is the container that you cook the hot dish in. Sometimes people call that dish a casserole. It's more of a Midwestern term, usually implying the hot dish is going to have some protein, some starch, maybe some cheese. A cream of something soup is very common. It's wholesome, good, everyday food you can make for your friends or family or take to a party. In my opinion, a casserole is a hot dish that went to France for the summer and came back with delusions of grandeur. A little too fancy for their own good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put on our toppings. We're gonna sprinkle on some cheese, put on our tater tots, and then at the end, dust it all with the last of the taco seasoning mix. Don't have to make it super pretty, just get it on there. And right now would be a great time to consider maybe making a donation or checking out some of our merch. Seems like we have the exact amount of tater tots, which is kind of amazing. No tots left behind. If you were not dividing this in two, just use a regular 13x9 rectangular baking dish. So now we just add the last of our spices. All right, we're gonna bake our hot dishes now in a preheated 400-degree oven for 45 minutes until the tots are nice and brown. All right, we'll check on those in a little while. Back to you. All right, let's see how we're doing. Almost there. I think we need a few more minutes just to get a bit crispier. So we'll put that back in there. Back to you. Oh, these look perfect. Here is our turkey hot dish. And here is our vegetarian. We're going to want to let these cool down for about 15 minutes before we eat them though.
Really, the only word for it is...
And we are ready to serve. Put some of the garnish on here. We're going to do a little taste test. This is the original turkey version right here. I actually really like that a lot. The potatoes are crispy. The vegetables aren't overcooked, and then you can taste all the seasonings. Really good. Let's see how the vegetarian version compares. Get some of those lentils there. It tastes almost exactly the same. Definitely recommend that as a vegetarian option. Thanks so much for cooking with me today. If you enjoyed this video, consider donating to Introverts for Dems and checking out our merch. Have a wonderful day.